Welcome to Euroforum UG, where we address Ugandans from Europe, USA, Asia, Africa, Australia, and all over the globe. We share experiences, opinions, and expertise on current affairs, educative lifestyle, religion, and family matters. Follow, subscribe, and like our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Euroforum UG. You can also join our live shows every weekend on our social media platforms. For more information, visit our social media platforms or email us at euroforumug@gmail.com or WhatsApp us on +4740 574040. Euroforum UG, communicating with peers.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Moses Mugisha is your host today. I want to greet you all. I'm coming to you live from Oslo, Norway. Euroforum, your platform where you communicate with peers. Today, we take another step into serving you. Our dedication and commitment is at least being present at least once or twice a week on a live show. And of course, during the week, there are a couple of interactions, videos, flyers, and inspiration messages that are posted on our platforms, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Today, we take a digital trip to our motherland, Uganda, where we're meeting a lady, Sarah Nabakooza. She's a New Vision journalist reporting for the Parliament of Uganda. It's a great, great honor to have one of us direct from the Pearl of Africa, Uganda. And she's also a journalist. To me, that becomes another step into my service as a host, hosting someone in the field where I'm only a newcomer, fresh, but I'm delighted to be of service to you and to be one of those going to take some sort of inspiration today, because I'm hosting someone who's, among other things, who is tapping into diaspora stories and bring them to life. My interaction with her off camera, she shares with passion of how inspired and passionate she is about tapping into those unknown diaspora stories. Today, we are getting it direct from the horse's mouth, and our host today is Sarah Nabakooza. She's one that many know behind the screen, writing and having these written stories and news. But today we want to look at the face to connect the written news to the person herself. Sarah.
Yes, please.
What an honor to have you this afternoon. May you greet our
My is not so good, but it's a great honor to be here.
Thank you, Nyabo. Now I'm hosting a senior, someone reporting for the Parliament. It's not an ordinary journalist. But you know, when you rub shoulders with a big, you also become big. For you watching us, Sarah Nabakooza is well known for tapping into diaspora stories. She has written and brought to life a couple of stories. And there have been questions of how this is done. Is it, for those who didn't know anyway, I call her a video, does she write? How does she do it? But we have her here with us. On another note, and it's sad note, we want to send our condolences to the family and close friends of the deceased Stella, one of the Ugandans who lived in Finland, who passed on days back. It was a shock. It was a very untimely death, and we want to send our condolences to the dear ones for that deep, deep loss. May her soul rest in eternal peace, and most importantly, may her legacy live on. She has been known, among other things, as a darling to the children. She has been such an inspiration to the children in Finland and generally in the Scandinavian. Such a big loss, and we pray that the good Lord comforts and embraces our family and those close to her. May her soul rest in eternal peace. For you watching us, Euroforum, your platform where you communicate with peers. This Sarah Nabakooza. Sarah, before I start speaking so much about you, she does this, she does that. Mama Sarah, please greet our viewers and tell us more about you.
Wow, thank you so much. My name, like you said, is Sarah Nabakooza. I come from the western part of Uganda, that's Kashari, in Nimbara district, and I'm a journalist with the biggest media house, that's New Vision. I write stories, politics. Like you said, I report at Parliament of Uganda. I also write business. I also write about religion. I literally write about everything. But mainly my niche is business and politics. So it's a great honor to be here.
Thank you, Sarah. What kind of journalist are you? Sarah?
Wow. I'm a multimedia journalist, if I might say, because I've done all forms of media. I've been on TV, I've been on radio, and now I mainly write. So, meaning now, if I'm to introduce myself, I'm a print journalist. I write stories. I also write features. So, I'm a print journalist.
Okay. Thank you. And what interests you into writing about diaspora stories?
Oh, wow. That's such a good question. Last year, I don't know if you've been reading newspapers, because when you people leave Uganda, even the people here actually don't read. Yeah, but last
Yeah.
year, I was interviewing, I was talking to very many people, including the ambassadors, people who represent their countries here in Uganda. And when the year ended, I'd written very many of them. I always do an audit on my things, what I write. So I said, I've been writing about foreigners. How about I write about our people who are in these countries but are successful? And when you look at the internet, most of the stories we have are bad. People who leave Uganda, their kidneys are stolen, they go and suffer their cleaning dogs, they're doing a lot of these other small jobs. And I realized we actually have Ugandans who are doing so well, professional work. Actually, if you see most of the people I've written about, they're really doing so well in this country. So I said, how about I tell their stories? And since I'm a storyteller, I tried to give it a shot, and yeah, it was successful. And I'm glad I did. Yeah.
Okay. If I may use one of the stories I've seen you, one of the stories you've written about. Now, there is this story here of Chikome, or one of the Ugandans in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
If I could use this particular story, share with me your experience while gathering this story, bring it to life.
Okay. You see, these stories, the stories that I write, how do I get these people? So I have to talk to someone who connects me to someone who connects me to someone.
Who knows someone?
So
Someone who knows
I know
someone.
So one of those days, I think I talked to one, actually your friend. It's you who recommended someone to me, Kenneth, in the Netherlands. And after writing his story, I realized he has a team of Ugandans who are doing great things. So that's how I got in touch with Mr. Chikomeko. And it was a great experience to know that he's a very good oncologist who is doing so well, and he's Ugandan. So it was a great experience, first of all, to know that we are actually giving these foreigners. Okay, they're not foreigners, because when new people leave Uganda and go to these countries, it becomes your home. So I'm glad we have most of these our people doing so great in these countries.
Okay. Yes. Now, okay. This story about Chikomeko's story. I really love it that you brought it live because I went through it and I really came to a couple of details. For me, they were freshly new, but I also believe there are friends in the Netherlands who first got to know about these stories firsthand when you wrote about them. So now, compiling this interview. So how do you usually go about it? Okay, you got Chikomeko's contact. Just to give an impression of someone who would also love his story to be tapped into. So how did you go about it? You have Chikomeko's contact. Yes, share with me.
So first of all, what we do when you get this contact, each story is unique in its own way. So when you get this story, first of all, you want to know what made this person leave the country. And you first talk to the person. Before I interview them, before I write the story, I first want to have a rapport with them so that we become friends, so that you establish trust, so that someone can give you every information out of them. So I think this so unique. People firstly trust you because they were recommended by someone they know. So it's easy for them to tell their story and tell you everything that you need to know and you need to tell the world. Yeah, so I think it all comes from trust. Yeah, trust.
Okay, you see why I pay attention to the process is that you definitely have had an experience with Ugandans in the diaspora. And I don't know, you've certainly written stories of Ugandans living in Uganda, just as you've done stories of Ugandans living abroad. Have you had any differing experience or contrasting experience?
I didn't get you well, but
Okay, no, your experience while writing stories or engaging with the Ugandan living in Uganda and the Ugandan living abroad. Have you had any contrasting experiences with these two people or these two categories of Ugandans?
Yeah, actually, I think I was talking to someone in the US, I think like 2-3 days back. And one thing that we need to know, we are all human beings and our lives are almost the same. It's not obvious that when someone leaves the country, their lives will be straight. No, they also go through challenges. They also have the good days. And it also applies to us who stay in Uganda. Even us, we have our good moments, we have our bad moments. So environment doesn't guarantee how someone lives. But what I've realized, because I write both of them, actually, when you see the section that I write for where these stories are featured, it's called Pakasa. Pakasa is a Luganda word that means, what does it mean in English? But it's Pakasa, yes. So we focus on local businesses. So it means we also talk to people who are here in Uganda. And the only similarity, maybe if I might tell you, is we are all human beings. We all go through challenges and we all also have the good times. And maybe the difference is because these people abroad don't have potholes and we have potholes back home. Yeah, but and yeah, we can eat matoke freely and anytime, not like you guys. But the experiences are the same. They also meet people, get married, start businesses fail, they start again. Even in career, someone actually, I think in one of those stories was it Serum Kenya? I think that gentleman from UK. I think he did pharmacy. Then at one point he thought, I think I should do engineering. So he did like 3 things in another country. And it also happens here, like
Is it
myself.
this story here?
Yeah. I think he has like 2. Yeah, he's a pharmacist, he's a musician, and he's also an engineer, I think. So you see, even in an outside country, he tried every other thing that could make him money. Even here in Uganda, we do the same. So it's almost the same things, only a different environment, but same setting. Because we are all human beings and we all go through life the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, there is a different, there is a perception people have about people in the diaspora. And now you writing about or tapping into our stories. Of course, me, I'm curious to know what has been your experience. Tubadde tutya tuyinamuko amayembe tuyinamuko ezzalawo.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've really found in our Ugandans who are out there, when you leave Uganda, first of all, you know Uganda has challenges, our healthcare systems, our roads, our everything. So every Ugandan, inside them, they have a thing that really wants to give back to Uganda. I think I find it in every Ugandan. They have that thing that really wants to give back to Uganda. So even when you talk to them, you ask them that they ask you, how best can I be of good support to Uganda? And I think that's a unique thing that most of the Uganda, I don't know about other people, if when they leave their countries, if they feel the same way, but most of the Ugandans that I've talked to really love their country. Yes, they're there, but their hearts are here in Uganda. I think that's a unique thing that I've found in every Ugandan living out there.
That's really good feedback, eh? But now you're speaking from a space where you have a wide network of Ugandans who you engage with. Of course, to reach a point of writing a 2-page story definitely says something of how close you've been in contact. And I've also realized that most of the stories are written stories. Is it something on your blueprint, or it just fell in that you just have to lean that way?
Writing as a profession, or I don't know. Writing is good, and is something that I love to do. I love to tell stories of people. I love to, not only people, even the economy, because if you read the newspaper, you'll see I write about business, I write about politics, but I love to tell a story, and not just tell a story, but have an impact. You realize that most of these days, people want to leave the country. They just want to leave the country because we are tired. We are tired of the government. We are tired of the roads. We are tired of everything. So we want to leave. So it's so important when someone can pick something from someone. And if I can do it, if someone wants to go to the UK and they can refer to my story one day, or someone who is in USA but wants to go to Netherlands and can read my story and pick something, even if it's one line, then I'll have achieved my goal. Because yeah, I don't just write, I write to impact. If people want to leave the country, if you want to leave and go to the Netherlands, read a story of someone who has been in the Netherlands. How was it for them? When they reached, how easy was it for them to learn a new language, to start on career? If you have your degree, what would it be like to live in the USA? So that's what I try to communicate in my stories. And I think it has inspired me also. I never loved living abroad, but I think talking to these people, it's either a disadvantage or an advantage. Because I've learned that, yeah, you can actually find a home abroad. And yeah, it's why I write this. I want to help someone out there. Yeah. So that if you're a doctor, you want to go to UK, what should you expect? And when you read the story of a Ugandan who has really gone through all these things, you actually know that you can also go and be okay in a foreign land.
That bit where you're getting inspired to leave Uganda, I'm not sure if it's in the best interest of our motherland, because now all the big brains are leaving the country. I don't know why.
Yeah, because there is no money here. The greener pastures are there, so we are coming for them.
Okay. I hope this interview, your boss watches this interview and raises your salary by 70% so that you don't leave.
I actually interviewed one of the gentlemen, I think in the USA, and he was divorced. So my boss asked me, why don't you go and get married to this guy? He's successful. So if it's for a good cause, I really think he would also be okay. I don't know.
Oh, of course, no comment about that, whether good or not. But the bottom line is that you got inspired, and
Yeah, I got inspired. Yeah.
yes, and your experience with these stories. Do you get feedback that people read these stories? Because there are people who believe that Africans with reading, we contradict. We are a total contrast. That Africans with reading is not our hobby. But you get feedback that people read these stories.
Yeah, actually, very good feedback. First of all, when I write about someone, their family members get to read these stories, and then they send the messages. We've seen you in the new vision, even on social media. When there is a gentleman I wrote about recently, the former UNA president. So I seen on his LinkedIn, on his Facebook, yeah, we've seen you in the newspaper. And he was also sending me messages of his friends. We've seen you. What are you trying to buy? Yo, what? We've seen you in the newspaper. Yeah. So people actually do read these stories. And, a good thing with the newspaper, someone can read the story and then refer to it every other time. They take pictures of these stories and they share. Yeah, so that's how I even get to know people. Because there is an organization that reached out to me, IOM. They called me and they said, we've been reading your stories. Even me, I didn't know they were reading my stories, but they said, we've been reading your stories. You write about these people in diaspora. How can we get to some of them? So it's a good thing. Yeah, I get good feedback. People actually do read. Not everyone, but the few get to read these stories. And in future, they are still there. So even our children, even my children, will read and know I was writing about Ugandans living in diaspora.
I love that kind of projection where you're doing something today, 2025, and you're dreaming about your children reading them. So it means that you're doing work that you believe that should outlive you. That's really amazing. And speaking of feedback, how can people access these stories? Because yes, it's both digital but how can people access these stories?
Most of the times, you see the good thing with internet today, when you try to look for something, you can always get it. So when someone is looking for something, maybe an engineer in Netherlands, they will get to that story. But also I try to document them. I keep them in PDF form. So when I write about someone, I share with them the story. Then we also have a link online that they can always refer to. So these stories are online. They're everywhere. Anyone can access them anywhere. But still, when you put my name, Sarah Nabakooza, New Vision, they bring you most of the stories I've written, and you can always look out for any of the story that you want to read and delve deeper into.
Thank you, Sarah. To you watching us, it's a conversation with Sarah Nabakooza. She's a fellow Ugandan, based in Uganda, having huge courts, writing for the Parliament of Uganda. And she, on the side, she's very passionate about diaspora stories. She believes that there are so many untapped stories that she wants to give to life, to bring back to life. And many of these stories are already documented somewhere. like you said, you can access them. And yes, people reach out to others and they extend contacts. But in case someone wanted to write their story, to have their story put to life, what should they do?
They can always get me. All my social media platforms. I use my real name, Sarah Nabakooza, New Vision. So it's very easy to get me.
Oh,
On
Sarah
Twitter,
Nabakooza.
on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, all those platforms, I use my real names, and you can easily tell because I put New Vision, so you can easily tell it's me.
And regarding the time zones, because it's you okay, Europe is okay 1 hour, 2 hours difference with Uganda. But when it comes to areas like Taiwan, America, how would you navigate this? Because there are huge time differences.
Yeah, usually what I do, I always call these people because they are very important people, professional people, so you can't just call them anytime, any minute. So what I do, I just text you and I tell you, hello, my name is Sarah, I work with New Vision, so and so shared your contact with me. I would like to tell your story. So tell me, do you prefer sending you questions and you reply? Do you prefer a phone call? Do you prefer email? So I make it so easy for these people to give me information in a most comfortable way. Because you find someone will tell you at this time I'll be at work, but maybe over the weekend you can give me a call or this. So I always make it so easy for them. And since it's me who wants them, I always find time. If someone tells me this time, I make it a point to reach out to them at that time. Most of the times it's actually in the night here. Yeah, but it's okay. It's worth going for.
Mm, mm, mm. You see, we pick thoughts of inspiration and lessons from others. You see, this huge time difference, speaking from my experience, hosting shows with people in Taiwan, in America, fixing time that suits you both is something that I've found very challenging. But I love your professionalism and that calm approach that gives someone space and time to digest and find this very suiting for them. Like any hustle, any initiative, any job has challenges. Do you have any particular challenges in this initiative?
Yeah, I was actually talking to someone a few days back, a lady. I think women, we are not good with giving out information. Actually, when you see most of the stories, they're gentlemen. Because us women, we have so much to protect.
Uh,
So when you call this lady, she's really doing amazing things. She has actually lived, I think, in 3 continents in like 10 years. So her story is really good. I would really love to tell it. But she told me, you see, I have a husband, I have children, I have relatives back home. No, I don't think it's okay for me to give you this information. So women mostly, but not only actually the ones in diaspora, even here it's easier to get a comment or any information from a gentleman. They don't even think about it. You call a gentleman, hello, yes, this is Sarah New Vision. I would like to know this and this has happened. What do you have to say? And a gentleman will give you an answer. But a woman will think, what if I say this? Then it comes out like this. So women don't give out information. I think that's the most challenging part about it. Even when you see journalists, we have very few female journalists. So I think women are not good with information. So when I call women, they try to hold back. Even when they give you information, they don't really give you everything. I think that's the most challenging bit. And yet women have the very, very best stories to tell. But I think the only challenge I've faced is women holding back. But otherwise, it's really been smooth and good. Yeah.
And this particular challenge, is it something you've tried to troubleshoot first, or have you tried to do something with it, or it's a challenge you've just accepted to live with?
Yeah, of course, some women, because all the women, like in 10 women, only one will give you their stories.
Oh,
but what I try to do is,
1 out of
okay,
10.
yeah, 1 out of 10. What I'm really trying to do now, you see, even these ambassadors who come here, it's very easy to get a male ambassador to talk to or to host you or to do anything than a female ambassador. But what I've tried to do now, what I'm really going to do, the women, so I'm just going to be writing about them like a group. You just say the women who are, okay, it's what I'm thinking about, but I've not found a solution to it. But I'm really thinking outside the box. Yeah, I'm really thinking
Sure.
outside the box. Yeah. Because if you write about them and it's a collective, they're like 5. So this one you're talking about the experience, this one you're talking about this and family and this, maybe then they'll feel more comfortable than her being the only one telling her story. I got married, I got children. They tend to fear, yeah.
Because maybe
I
then,
think it's a patriarchal setting all over the world, yeah.
maybe maybe in that case, there would be some sort of comfort that in case something goes wrong, it is us, not just I as an individual. And it sounds a good strategy. But speaking of women, have you already tapped into this story? The story of our ambassador here, Her Excellence Margaret Oteskov. Have you already tapped into it? And what's your experience with her anyway?
So I actually call her my mother. She's very amazing. She's really very amazing. The very first people I talked to, she recommended them. And she would personally send them messages. Sarah is a girl I know. She's a journalist. I trust her. I've not written about her story per se as an individual, because even her, she didn't, I don't know, I think I've not pursued it yet, but she has not told me her story yet. But she's someone who recommends people to me. Like all my first people I talked to, she recommended them. But also I've also told stories of people from her area, people who come from Denmark. I think she has brought in very many people, tour guides, religious people. She has brought in very many people to Uganda. So every time she's around, she calls me, we are here. This time I came with tour guides and what. So write about them. So she's really an amazing woman and she has made my work so easy. Yeah, I actually remember my first trip when I was leaving Uganda. When I told her I'm going to fly for the first time, she even sent me money. She told me, when you reach, you have to eat, you have to reach at the airport and buy this. So she's really an amazing woman. Yeah. And she has made my work very easy. She has recommended people to me, but she has also allowed me to tell stories. She has even told me about the embassy. Like I have the whole picture of the embassy in Denmark. She told me how it is. I've written about the embassy in Denmark. I've written about people who come to Uganda from there. So yeah, she's really an amazing person, and she connected me to you. So you see, yeah. I think I've lost you. I'm not hearing you. I don't know.
Oh, sorry about that. I was saying that speaking of Her Excellence Ambassador Margaret Oteskov, the Ugandan ambassador in the Nordics, the embassy is in Copenhagen. Now that you haven't tapped into her story, I want to give you an assignment. before this year ends, this last quarter of the year, could you promise me that her story would be one of those stories we shall be reading about? Because myself, I've experienced her as an amazing woman, an amazing leader, but I only know her in office. I would love to know her story. I would love to know her journey. I would love to know how she has navigated life to where she is now. So would you promise me that before this year ends, we shall be reading her story? Courtesy of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to her. But like I've told you, women have a lot to protect. She might be comfortable telling her story, and you find the husband is not comfortable with being in the news. So, but it's one of those things I'm going to pursue. Yeah.
Do your magic. Good enough. You said she's more like a mother to you. Now go as a daughter and tap that story. Tell her bagala story. Yo, people, if she inspires, if she's inspiring many of us as leaders, when we're only seeing her in our profession docket, how much more shall we get inspired when you get to know behind curtains? So that's on your to-do list. Please put that.
It is.
Promise.
Yeah.
Being promised.
Yeah, I promise. I promise.
Okay, to you, our viewers, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Euroforum, where we communicate with peers. Our peer today in the spotlight is Sarah Nabakooza, Univision journalist reporting for the Parliament of Uganda. She also taps and gives life to diaspora stories, Ugandans, but she's very specific that they are not only just stories. No, these stories that will inspire and give hope and speak life into another Ugandan somewhere in the diaspora. So they are majorly success stories. And to that, we commend you so much, Sarah, for the work well done. She's sharing experiences and how she's doing this work. But one thing she said, which I'm a bit skeptical about, is that she's more than inspired by the story she's writing. And she is considering maybe one day she will leave Uganda. Please wait a bit. We need you there to first inspire. Maybe if you can promise us that you still write these stories even when you leave Uganda. Regarding the money issue, I'll send this link directly to your board to know that okay, there is some work to be done. So Sarah, speak to me. In line with your experience while writing these stories, yes, you have a very good approach to time zones and trying to reduce that issue. But do you sometimes experience Ugandans as being a bit skeptical when sharing these stories? Not just women, but generally Ugandans in the diaspora. Have you experienced any sort of skepticism in sharing these stories?
No, I think that happened at the start. When I was just starting, everyone I reached out to, they were like, have you written about anyone? It actually also happens with politicians, because I also write about politicians. So when you tell a politician, so you see, I'm going to write about this and this. So they ask you, have you written about any other politicians? So, but with time, since now I have stories to show, I don't need to talk a lot. When I get a contact, I reach out and I tell them, you see, I've been doing this for some time now, so I would also want to tell your stories. So they give their story wholeheartedly because someone else has been there. That's number one. But also they've been recommended by someone they trust. So when you write about someone, I always look out for these leaders. You write about maybe the president or someone leading a forum or something. So it's easier for them to trust their leader because it's their leader who has said. Like, for example, we're talking about Ambassador Margaret. When she sent these contacts, she also reached out to the people themselves and told them, Sarah works with New Vision. She's going to call you. She's going to talk to you. So give her your story. So it becomes easy that way. But also to share stories that you've already written. Because when someone says, I know so-and-so. Oh, I know so-and-so. So, you wrote about so-and-so. So it becomes so easy for them to tell their story wholeheartedly. Yeah. I think your sound is
Yes,
okay.
again, I want to further thank you so much for the work well done. You see, what you're doing is in a way a replica of what we are doing. You are kind of doing the same work. The only difference is that we are coming out uh, in video. We are doing it as a video concept of telling stories, and you the other approach of writing them. And we find yours in a way, like you said, it creates a lot of curiosity to those who love reading, of course. But it also challenges the other passive us as Ugandans that doesn't want to read. Creates some sort of challenge. So
Africa.
thank you for that. Africa. Oh, is it African? You know, I'm very careful when grouping African. You know, I've learned a lot regarding culture generalization. Here in Norway, there is a way we are used to saying we Africans. You interact with a Sudanese, a Nigerian, there are things that realize that Africa is so big. But I was highlighting us Ugandans how we find it very uncomfortable, very unappealing to read. But I love it that you still push and still go that lane. But speaking of writing, both using videos to tell stories and writing stories, is it something you feel you carry on even in the next 5-10 years, or you would opt for an adjustment?
Wow, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a journalist by profession. It's just something I do out of passion. Even when you are saying you're going to send the link to my boss, but yeah, even when the pay is not good, because I think it's general, not only the company I work for. My company actually pays well. It pays well compared to others. But writing to me is an experience. When I write, I get to experience. I get to get that experience that I can't even put in words. But I'm an accountant, and I'm thinking maybe in 5-10 years I'll go back to accounting. You never know, but all these things, it's God. Purpose. Where does God want me at this point? If God still wants me to write, I'll still write as many stories as possible. If it's 10 years, if it's 20, I'll still be writing. But if God tells me, my daughter, this is the time to move, I'll move. Yeah. And maybe when I get married, you never know. Because, you know, when you get married, now the responsibilities, I'll also become like these women who tend to hold back. So maybe I will hold back not to tell so much stories. So
you always
life
want
will
maybe time will come when you want to consult honey. I need to speak to my husband to see what he has to say about this.
What does he have to say?
But
Yeah. So life, as it comes, I will leave it as it comes. Yeah.
But yes, you said your God. When God says, "I need you to move," okay, you're speaking about God's plan. You have no control over. But what's your plan regarding writing? Is it something before God plans otherwise, or plans the same as you do? Is it something you plan to carry on? I understand that God will always have a plan for us, but your plan?
Yeah, my plan is, because I'm actually doing a CPA. I'm doing my CPA to add on my university degree. But okay, if it was for me, I would want to get a job that blends. Because you see, as you grow older, now I'm still young. I can run around, call everyone, talk any time of the night, and it's still okay. But maybe later I'll be at an age where I can still no longer run after these stories. So my plan is to become a professional accountant and be an accountant in the future, where I get a 8 to 5 job. I do my job and my income. Yeah, I plan to do accounting in my later years. Yeah.
Thank
But
you,
I'll still be
Sarah.
writing.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm surprised that you're not a professional journalist. And again, it's also my curiosity is burning now. Okay, how did she make it to even start writing for the parliament? How did you make it to even start working for a New Vision? You were writing for the parliament even without qualifications. Huh? Don't tell me God made it before you speak about God. First tell me.
Of course, it's God. But
Yes, I know.
also,
I knew you were going to pull out that card. First way to talk about God. Tell me before you go to God.
yeah, but after university, after I finished university, I studied from Makerere University, the Mbara campus. So I failed to get a job for like a year. So as home, I said, but I write because I used to write as a child. I still have my diaries. I wrote my life how I wanted it to be. When as a child, I used to write. I want this for my life. I want to have this number of kids. I want to get married at this time. So I used to write about everything. I was in a single school, and in Western Uganda, we always have Mary Chapa, we run Ntare, Vichi Vichi. So I used to write for all these magazines. When you go to Ntare magazines, my articles. When you go to Mbara High School, my articles are there. So I used to write. So I said, now that I don't have a job, what if I start writing? So I went to Red Paper. By that time, it was still there. That should have been like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So I told them, let me write for you. You don't need to pay me. Let me just write. You can give me transport once in a while, but let me write so that I keep myself busy. And they said, it's okay. So I started writing. I was writing about sex, relationships, and health. So I used to research about those topics and write for them feature stories. I'm glad I was writing before ChatGPT, so I'm a good writer, not with AI. Yeah, so I started writing. By that time, I think we were going into COVID. So COVID, we went home, but there was a TV that took me on. I asked them, can you give me a job? I'm an accountant, but I can do business stories because I have been a journalist for 6 months at Red Paper. So they said it's okay. I worked there for 3 months. It was a TV, Smart 24 TV. So after Smart 24 TV, it's when I joined the Vision Group for Urban TV. Since I was from TV, so I joined for TV, Urban TV. But when I reached, I did like 2 shows on Urban TV, and my editor said, I think I wrote like 2 stories, and she said, no, you belong here. So come and start writing for us. You can do both of them. So that's how I started writing for New Vision. And 1-2 years, they said, you're good. You can even go to Parliament. They sent me to Parliament. So that's how I'm here. It's just passion, and I put my whole heart in every article. Like when I write, I read as if I'm the person on the other side. What will the other person think? Will they pick what I'm writing? Will they really understand? So I read what I write, and by the time I put it out there, even me, my heart is in that story. When you read it, my heart is really there. Yeah. So it's passion that took me into writing.
Wow. Wow. It's so fascinating to hear that you've walked a journey of 3 media houses: Red Paper, Smart 24 TV, Urban TV, New Vision, and now writing for the Parliament, and with no particular qualification in journalism. Yes, passion. But the way you know yourself, what has been so special to you that has sailed you up these ladders of success? To me, I brand it success, much as you're talking about little man and all these these things. What is your strength?
It's little money, yeah, but it's success. Actually, it is. It's great success because I've met people. I've met. I'm now talking to you because you had somewhere to find me. Yeah, but what has really got me here, like I will still say it's God. I pray from Phaneroo Ministries International, Apostle Grace Lubega. So at one point, actually, things got so bad, I wanted to go back home to Mbarara. So I was praying about it, and God told me, no, your purpose is still here in media, in writing. Actually, before I even started journalism, I used to feel it in me that I would one day be a journalist. So it all comes to God and purpose. Because every time I pray, every time I move, because now in COVID, I didn't have a job, but in one of those sermons, Apostle preached a sermon and he talked about journalism, and he said, yeah, it's not by coincidence that this and this happened. God is saying, okay, he was preaching to everyone, but I picked that part, and he said, you're going to be a great journalist. So I picked it as if it was coming to me directly, and true to word, 2 months later, I got a job in Vision Group. That's how I started writing. So even along the journey, I got an offer from the French embassy, I think. I'd worked for them on very many of their articles. So when an opportunity came up, they called me, they told me, you're the right person that we want for this specific job. And I told them I would pray about it, and I prayed about it, and God told me, no, it's you're still here, you're still with New Vision, your purpose is still there. So that's how I think it was like 2 months before they put me to Parliament. Yeah, so I now know every time, everything I pray about it, God, you still want me here? And if he says yes, then I have nothing to do. So it's mainly God and looking to him, not moving by what you feel and you say everyone, because now you can say all the people I started with, they are now what, but no, me, I don't move by that pressure. No, I just pray to God, God, do you want me married this time? If he says no, even if a rich man comes and he has a Benz and a building in town, I won't be moved by those things. If God is not in it, no, I have no business with it. So this success, it has all been God. God at every step. God, where do you want me? I want you here. Okay. Yeah.
I love it. The fact that you're proudly, I think it's, is she called Gabi? There is a lady who sang this song, Let's Brag About God. Is it Gabi? Ntante?
Yeah, Gabi Ntate.
Gabi Ntante. Let's brag about God. I love the way you brag about God. And maybe also to give a very clear disclaimer to you watching us. I'm a believer, and I also believe in the power and in the endless power and the omnipotence of God. So when I posed the question and I limited you, now you should answer it. I wasn't insinuating that God should not be chosen and praised, but I was only trying to limit, rather to direct it to the other human input. So, but I really love the fact that we, from time to time, some people find it as a space of refuge to give credit and honor to God. Of course, the same people, somewhere in other parts of the world, make it in some spaces of life, and to them, it is either thanking the father, the mother, the professor, my boss, and but giving credit where it's due, it's basically good, and then the rest come in. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your time. And as we've sailed through this program, I believe there is so much some people would love to engage with you in depth on a personal level. And I want to believe that you're a public figure. And that's what I believe. And this means even your contacts are public, isn't it?
Yeah, they are.
Yes. Please share your contact details where people can reach you to interact more with you and to probably suggest their stories to be put to life.
So I read my number.
The way what you usually use, it might be a number, social media handles, email, I don't know. I'm only saying your contact details.
Okay, so my WhatsApp number, the one I use that is common that people can reach me on is +256 752 422 906. So that's +256 752 422 906. So that's my WhatsApp number that anyone can call me and we have a conversation. But also my social media platforms, all of them are in my names, my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Instagram, Twitter. Everywhere you go, you just type in Sarah Nabakooza, New Vision, and you will get me.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And, I need to know your experience has been definitely in depth, and there is so much to search for with Sarah Nabakooza. But for you, this segment of writing and giving life to diaspora stories, are there any particular benefits from it at the moment?
Yeah, like I told you, number one, I've been inspired to leave Uganda with its potholes, but also to know that these stories we are telling, most of the stories that we tell are general. If it's politics, you're writing about NRM, you're writing about a committee, you're writing about very many things. But now to know that you're talking about an individual, they're telling you their lives, you get to know how they moved through life. And like I said, life is life. Whether you're abroad or in Uganda, the only difference is the environment we all live in, but it's the same life. So you get to know how did they balance family, work, and this, and you learn. Life is a journey of learning. So every time you get a story, you get to learn. You learn from every story because every story is very unique. You learn and know, yes, someone can have two jobs, have a family, work from this time to this time, and still be successful. So, yeah, it's a learning experience both for my readers and myself. And I'm really glad that even my bosses, because there are those who come to me and tell me, I read your story and yeah, I now want to go to Netherlands. So what do you think I should do? And I tell them I can give you a contact of someone you can reach out to, and this person will help you. So it's an experience of learning, yeah, and helping everyone else out there who needs my help.
Mm, mm. Mu lulimi lw'abaana b'okubbala, they would address Sarah as Kayungirizi in future.
Yeah.
That information center. Information center. You need to know about how Ugandans in Norway live on the professional lines in Norway. Sarah. So for me, in my loose language, I would call you Kayungirizi. But of course, on a positive note.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, thank you so much to you about to travel to Uganda or living in Uganda. Vena Farm Lodge is your space to go. They have accommodation, recreation center. I said they have a recreation center and many other activities you can do at their premises. Visit them on venafarmlodge.com for more information. They are quite structured and all they do is usually guided from a very structured and professional perspective. What they do most is giving value to your money and giving you confidence and trust in all you do with them. So I recommend this place highly, and please visit their website on venafarmlodge.com. Sarah, as we wind up, as a writer, as a passionate writer, that even got you into journalism, where you have no qualification. Any particular tips that you'd give to other writers out there?
Wow. Of course, number one would be God. You just have to trust God and everything, whichever religion you're in. You might be a Muslim, you might be an Anglican, you might be Catholic, and God speaks to us in different ways. God won't come to you and say, Sarah, this and this. No. God speaks through people, He speaks through our bosses, He speaks through every other person. So, number one should be God. Before you do anything, pray about it. Ask God, what do you think about this before any decision? So, even in writing, before you write, because yes, you can write a story that can have an impact, but you can also write a story that can break a family. Someone will read a story and say, you, my wife, how did you give all this information to someone that you didn't know, and it can even cause a divorce? So you have to pray about everything. Even what you write, tell God, you've given me this talent. You might not be a writer, but every talent that God has given you. Because even the Bible tells us, as servants, when you serve your masters here on earth, serve as if you're serving God. You're not serving that boss of yours. You're not serving, you're not just doing it to get money. No, you're doing it because that thing has a part of you on it. When you're doing accounting, make those accounts, but with one heart, knowing that you're serving God. If you're a boss, you're a CEO, you're doing anything you're doing, put God first, and everything you're doing, have God in mind. I'm doing this because I'm serving God. That's number one. But also love what you do. Love what you do. You know, the Bible says love never fails. Love never fails. If you love someone, they cannot fail you. If you love something that you're doing, that thing won't fail you. Yes, it will get challenges. Yes, you will not make the money that you want. Yes, it will have a lot of challenges, but if you love what you're doing, you will really put your time to it, put your mind to it, and I can assure you it will pay off, because love never fails. Even when you love your wife or husband or your children, it doesn't mean they will be good all the time, but because you love them, you forego some of the things, and then you overlook most of those small mistakes. So even work, when you love your work, when you love what you do, I can assure you it will not fail you. So you just have to have God, and then love, passion. Do everything you do with passion and put your mind to it. Then if God has called you to be a writer, or if you've chosen to write, do one thing. Don't jump on writing because Sarah is doing it and she's successful. Don't jump on accounting because no. Think about it and put your mind to it, because this is your future. Now I'm writing. My children will look at my work 30 years from now, 40 years from now, my grandchildren. So I don't want my children to look back and say, our grandmother wasted her time. No, put your heart to everything and know you're doing it for generations to come. So let every piece of work that you put out, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an engineer, let every work have a piece of you in it, so that 5 years later, 10 years, you will look back and you say, yeah, I did that thing and it was really good. Yeah.
Wow. I'll quote this. Let every work you do have a piece of you in it. That after some time you look back and say, I did it. And I'll put in quotes, Sarah Nabakooza.
Nabakooza.
Yes, that I'll take with me. And much as you said, you've been inspired by the stories you've written, but I'm also sure that if this is how you come out to the people you write stories about, they must have equally been inspired by you. I was also about to ask that, are you a motivational speaker on the side? Because you
No,
speak
I'm
with
a
a soul.
preacher. I'm a street preacher.
Okay, now it relates. Okay, it adds up now. Those words for me, they've been really powerful, and I'll replay. Like I always do, I replay many of these interviews just to speak life to myself, but also to learn more from my guest. Thank you so much. I have one last question. Second last question to you. You sound very passionate about God, and you sound like you really live a life where God is really integrated in your life deeply. But you're also a journalist who is even reporting for the Parliament of Uganda, where a lot of business, controversial business happens. Okay? And many people have tagged journalism as a profession which is quite inseparable with politics. And in that case, tagging it as some sort of dirty kind of compromising sort of profession. How do you manage to balance the both as a strong, staunch believer, but also a passionate journalist?
Wow. You want me to tell you my secrets now?
Please do, please do.
Yeah, but
Maybe I could also be inspired.
One thing, okay, we fall, even us who are staunch believers, at one point you really fall. And okay, I'll quote my pastor. He preached a sermon on poverty. And one of the things he talked about poverty, he said poverty will make you deny your God. Like at one point, you'll be wanting rent, and this bribe comes in the right time that you really need it. And you'll say, God, 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 you'll understand. So those things happen. But a good thing, like I've told you, we are human beings, so it means we are growing. It's a journey of growth. So you fall at one point, you get a story of this politician, which is really a good story. And this politician will tell you, I'll give you this amount, don't write about me. And you have nothing to do really, because everyone left their villages to make money. Okay, that's on a lighter note. But usually what I do, I told my bosses, these hard stories, let me just report on accounts, because we have accountability committees. You know, Parliament has a lot of business. So I just told them to be on a safer side. Let me report what looks so obvious. Because if you're talking about an accountability committee, this has been live on TV, it has been everywhere. So if someone has done this, stolen this money, it's public information. So someone won't say, you said this about me. But also, like I've said, praying about it, when you pray about something, God gives you wisdom. Okay, God, this has happened. These people are stealing money from the hospital, but they are paying me this amount for me not to write this story. So you choose, you pray about it, and God gives you wisdom. Either way, if you're not the one who writes it, God will make a way for the story to come out. So maybe prayer, we fall sometimes and we pray for grace to lift us the other day, but prayer and sticking to God and knowing that His mercies are new every morning, even in mistakes, when you you compromise, God extends more mercy. We try so much to avoid it, but at one point when you can't avoid it, God gives you grace.
Thank you. No further comment on that. But but of course, much as I'm triggered, I'm almost tempted to add a comment, but I'll just ask an independent question. But as before we wind up this show, I want to again come back to my earlier remarks, where I grieved and sent our condolences to the family of the deceased Stella, one of the Ugandans who lived in Finland. I want also to add that there is a GoFund link that is running around on social media, and we shall also post it in the comment section. I want to encourage you, both as an individual, but also on behalf of your forum, to contribute any amount you can. This money is to repatriate the body of the deceased. Those living in the diaspora, and of course, I know somewhere, Sarah, you must have encountered someone's story or stories. It is either already knowledge you have, or you will get to know that it's really expensive to repatriate a body back home. So a lot of money is needed, and not and the family alone cannot pull off this. Remember, Stella, death was untimely. It was a shock. She was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and she had no idea of this, as much as I know. So this tells so much of how shocking it was, but also we cannot even expect that the family is prepared for this kind of expense. So my kind appeal, our kind appeal, is that you contribute any amount you can to this group, and we shall post it in the comment section. And that's the least we can do for this grieving family. Sarah, compromise is one of the central and very interesting word people use professionally, but most centrally in religion. Is there one thing you can never compromise in life?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, that one thing is God. I know it all starts and ends with God, and if you give me two things and you tell me you have this big deal, okay, sometimes it's understandable, but if I have to choose between maybe church and a deal, I will choose church. If I have to choose money, like God is something I cannot compromise about. Like, even if I told you about marriage, even if a man came and he has all these qualities, he's tall, handsome, all these things, but he doesn't have a relationship with God the way I think he would understand me, that I wouldn't compromise. If a job, I've lost very many jobs. You see, I'm a young girl who doesn't look really bad. So most of these jobs I have applied, and before I gave up on accounting, I'd done 2 interviews in very big institutions that I cannot mention, but most of these bosses, I would pass 2 of my interviews, and then this gentleman would tell you, before you get a job, you have to sleep with me. And I cannot compromise my values. As a Christian, I cannot compromise my place with God for anything, be it money, be it fame, be it anything. I'll still stand as a Christian regardless of what I'm going to lose. Yeah, so God is something I cannot compromise about, and my values as a Christian. Yeah.
Like you said, you repeatedly said this, that I'm a young girl who's not married. I know there might be a potential someone who will watch this interview and know that this is the lady I've been looking for, who is very clear and very definite and structured on what she believes in and what she stands for, even when it's costing her something. That's quite impressive. Eh? And to me, as we interact with my guests, I usually see them from afar, but also see them closely in my phone when I rewatch these interviews. I get fast inspired, and I really take away a lot of take homes from these interviews. Thank you to you watching us on Facebook and YouTube. We want to remind you and encourage you to please subscribe to our Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook and on TikTok. Another kind reminder, Facebook has recently adopted a policy where it takes down live videos after 30 days. This means that we cannot be able to watch this interview after 30 days. And we cannot as well tap into these stories or even replay these beautiful words from Sarah. But if you watch and follow us on YouTube, then we are sure we shall have this content even a decade down the road. So kindly follow us, subscribe on YouTube, and if we are to recommend where you should watch us, we would really prefer that you watch us on YouTube. Otherwise, thank you so much. We appreciate you all and we value you highly the time you take off to watch Euroforum. Thank you so much to my amazing team with whom we put this work together. Stella, I'll request you to give your parting shots as we wind up.
Sarah.
Sorry, I just talked about Stella. Sorry, Sarah. Sarah. Kindly give us a parting shot.
Okay, so I'll still talk about the same thing. If you're out there, a young profession, the thing I would tell you, number one, find a church if you're Christian, or a mosque if you're Muslim, and find God. In this era where people are trusting in very many things, it's so important that as a young person, as an old person, you trust in God, because God is the only way. Like, He's the only solution to everything. Then number two that I would really tell someone out there, value yourself. As a young girl, as saying, I've lost jobs, I've lost all these things because of the values that I carry. So you need to have values as a person. Yeah, people might not see them, but you as a person just walking every other day, and you did something that you should be proud of. So the only thing you need to do is have values as a person and respect those values. Don't compromise for money, because the Bible says all these things are vanity, fame, money, everything. You will get money and tomorrow you won't have it. You will eat food and tomorrow it won't be in your body. But something you do good will still stay. Like, I've written stories and 40 years from now they'll still be here. So do something good, value yourself, but also trust in God. Trust in God. The psalmist in the Bible says, I look up the hills, where does my help come from? He said some trust in horses, some trust in chariots. Those horses can be your education, it can be your spouse, it can be your money, but all those things won't help you if you don't have God. Because if they tell you have stage 4 cancer, even if you have $100 billion on your account, it won't help you. If they tell you your child is on drugs and you have 5 cars parked outside, it won't help you. But if you have God in your heart, these things will come and they will find you strong enough. You'll have a hope that you can hold on to. That when that money goes, when your spouse is not there, when your children are not there, they don't act up to expectations, God will still be there with you in all situations. Whether you're happy, whether you're sad, God will still be with you. So the only thing that you can have is God. And anyone out there, please find God. Find a church and find God for yourself. Don't let your pastor be your source of strength or source of wisdom. No, read your Bible, read your Quran. Find God, listen to sermons, and let God speak to you as an individual, because God is personal. Salvation is personal. And if you're out there, you would want to receive Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, it's the best decision that you can have in your life. I've been born again for now, I think 8 years, and it's the best thing that has happened to me. So I would encourage anyone out there to receive Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. God bless you all, and I love you. I think your sound is off. Your sound.
Sorry, Sarah, you give me more reasons to schedule a show with you next month. You see,
I'm
with you on the
available.
panel, with you on the panel, I'm getting more than I ordered. If I'm using the concept of buying and shopping, we scheduled a show where we're tapping into your story, we're tapping into your inspiration to writing about diaspora stories. But I'm also getting another segment of inspiration. I'm lucky I went to church yesterday, but had the entire gone to church, I would be using this as my church. Because they've been actually you've given a sermon in a way. Very short one, very much on point and very relational. Thank you for those kind words. Very piercing words to the soul. To me, I'm getting more than I expected, and thank you so much. Hopefully, someday we shall be having you here on the panel to inspire from both what we see on the video, but also the stories you write. You watching us, Sarah Nabakooza has been our guest. She's a Nubian journalist writing for the Parliament of Uganda, but also writing on a range of stories in Uganda. In the diaspora, she's tapping into those success stories for Uganda in the diaspora. As you see on the screen, these are some of the stories she has written about and yet to write more. She has already shared her contacts to you who is interested in tapping into a story, into sharing your story to the world. Please reach out to her, and either through the comment section here, you can type your number or your contact details so we can reach back to you, or she can as well reach out to you. Some of these stories are the ones you see pinned here on the screen. She has been to the Netherlands. There is a story here that was in the UK. There is another story here of one in the UK still, and several others. As we wind up, I want to remind you all that for you Ugandans living in Norway, next Saturday, that will be on the 11th of October, we shall be celebrating our independence. And that will be at a venue you see on the screen, somewhere in Hall Media. But before we go out in our dancing shoes, we shall have an Independence Cup. And the concept this year is having 4 teams to compete for a cup, which is our Uganda Independence Cup. This is supposed to shine out the beauty of Uganda to our brothers and sisters in Norway. That will be from Sudan, Ghana, and Zimbabwe. So the winner will take a trophy, and second place will take medals. So this is the 11th October for us. In Sweden, there is an arrangement of an independence celebration, and the same applies to Finland, and also I've had in Denmark and many other places. Just a word to you out there. Just remember that these celebrations are basically for us to meet as family. You might have different political inclinations, but kindly just put them on the side for us in the diaspora. We are very few here to start splitting these small communities with the politics back home. Of course, we acknowledge and respect that we hold opinions, but these opinions, we're only praying and requesting that they should not come as a Berlin Wall between us. But with that said, I want to thank you all. I see a comment coming in here from Smoggy. She's saying she's so inspirational. Thanks for the show. Yes, someone is watching you there, and I believe many others out there really have been watching the show, and I believe they'll go back to this video to pick something. Sarah, I need you to make a promise here now, without preparation. You promised me that before this year ends, you bring our ambassador story, Ambassador Margaret Otesco.
I will.
You will. Big promise.
Yes. I will.
And another promise, I want you to also to make a commitment that before this year ends, you bring to life 2 stories of Ugandans in the diaspora. Sorry, in the Scandinavian. It doesn't matter which country. It can be from Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway, or Finland. You promise me? Big promise. 2 stories.
You're a potential someone. I've not told your story yet.
Mine is the pipeline. I'm still acting as the camel. I'm a transport. I'm a transport vessel. Apart from mine, 2 other stories. Promise?
Yeah, I actually have 2 people. I have 2 people ready. So
in the
Scandinavian.
Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, our viewers. Thank you so much, Euroforum management. I want to make this one last call to you watching us, more so Ugandans in the diaspora. Euroforum has been in service for now 5 years. We started, our first live show was on 19th April 2020. We've made 5 years, but along the way, we felt it is time to move to something more than just inspirations and telling people stories. We started a financial club or an investment club where we have members around the world. Two of the directors are in Uganda and 2 others are in the diaspora. So we want to invite you on board. We started in February. By June, we had already invested in Unity Trust Fund, 10 million shillings. And for now, it's so far a team of 14 Ugandans, 14 people. If only 14 people in a space of 4 months can put together monies and even move a step to invest. So the greater vision of this investment club is for Ugandans someday in future to have a village somewhere that is inspired by the good work of unity and working together as Ugandans. We are starting small, but looking big somewhere in future. So I want to invite you on board. Membership is only 100 Ugandan shillings. Sorry, 100,000 Ugandan shillings. And the minimum saving per month is 200,000 Ugandan shillings. The structure is very credible and dependable. It's registered in Uganda with very firm and grounded leadership. So please consider that. In case you need more information, don't hesitate to reach out to us on this number here. This is our official number. Feel free to engage and ask questions. In case you need more information and you'd love maybe to find comfort in someone else, one of the people on board is Nalumu Irene. She's also a journalist in Uganda. There is Hajiruze in Sweden. There is Agrat Gonza and myself. We are the directors and the leaders of this investment club. So find comfort in asking questions to know more about this. As we inspire and tap into stories and share information, we also need to try to reestablish and try to reaffirm our financial ground and muscle as we project the future. I hope that reaches well to you. You might not be interested, but maybe someone else might be interested. You could consider that as an option. And I'm also, as we wind up, Sarah, I'm inviting you on board. Consider being a member of Nile Streams Global Investment Limited. Tujja byogerako naye nga nkubuzizza ekirowoozo nnyabo. Tunaabasiibula mwebale kubaawo mutukoze bulungi nnyo. Sarah twogedde oluzungu lungi nnyo. Siibula kubalabi baffe mu Luganda n'abakooza tuyinza kuba nga tweyogedde ku Luganda. Siibula kubalabi baffe. Then to the one.
My Luganda is so beautiful, but mwebale nnyo ababadde batulaba. Tusanyuse nnyo Mukama abampeera omukisa, mwongere okusaba, mwongere okwagala Katonda. Mukama abaagala nga bwe muli, tabasalira musango. Bye bye.
Okay, Sarah webale nnyo, nange nja basiibulako n'okubabuuzaako mu Luganda okubeebaza okwekuumira ku Euroforum. Nile Streams Investment Club, which came in as a sister company to Euroforum. Mugirowoozeeko, eri open eri buli omu Munnayuganda gy'oli, nga nkugambye ba directors abamu bali Uganda, abalala bali mu diaspora. Eri open eri buli omu. Membership fee mitwalo 10 egya Uganda. Minimum saving per month mitwalo 2 kyokka. Vision ennene ya kuinvestinga massively mega investment e Uganda nga team. Tulina emboozi nnyingi nnyo tetwogera ku bayindi baakolawe bati bano baakolawe bati. We chose to move a step away from baakolawe bati bano bayindi abagunde Pakistani. Naffe ne tugamba tusobola obikola, indeed tusobola obikola. So twegatteko kirowooze kubeera comfortable okubuuzaako oba okujja okufuna more information ku kino kitambula kitya. So I wish to join W Patience. Patience. Okay. Sarah kubera bias linnya ndimayinga nabasa nzo okuba nze ndisomye obubi nga terina kuba bwerityo naye Patience, she would love to join, and yes, reach out to this number, Patience. Twongere okwogeramu n'abalala bonna abanayagala joining Euroforum Invest. Okay, it was a result of Euroforum, but it's Nile Streams Global Investment. Mujje tukolere wamu tukoye okubinyumyako abayindi kale genda wali tukole bwe tukigenda n'ogenda twagana kuko tulabe we can work together. Otherwise tubebaza nnyo tubassamu ekitiibwa muli ba muwendo nnyo mwebale okwekumira ku Euroforum. We sign out for now. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Euroforum UG, where we address Ugandans from Europe, USA, Asia, Africa, Australia, and all over the globe. We share experiences, opinions, and expertise on current affairs, educative lifestyle, religion, and family matters. Follow, subscribe, and like our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Euroforum UG. You can also join our live shows every weekend on our social media platforms. For more information, visit our social media platforms or email us at euroforumug@gmail.com or WhatsApp us on +4740 574040. Euroforum UG, communicating with peers.